Good evening and welcome to the Primetime News on MITV. I am Chumoke Michaels. The headlines. Senate approves Tinubu's 2.818 trillion naira supplementary budget. Reps scrap budget for presidential yacht. Lawan condemns brutalization of NLC president. From the foreign scene, Saudi Arabia announces $13 million in aid for Gaza. And in sport, Lionel Messi's move to Inter Miami gives Major League Soccer a huge boost. And now to the major stories. The Senate has passed the 2.18 trillion naira 2023 supplementary appropriation bill forwarded to it for consideration by President Bola Tinubu, as requested by Tinubu in the letter read in the Senate during plenary on Tuesday. The request was given expeditious consideration. Similarly, on Thursday, the Red Chamber expressed approval the budget after the chairman, Senate Committee of Appropriations, Solomon Adeola, laid the report at the chamber.
Commendation. The Appropriation Committee considered the detailed provision of the bill and the input received from the head of benefiting MDAs, as well as the leadership of the corresponding subcommittee in the Senate, and recommend as follows. The authorization of the issuance from the Consolidated Revenue Fund of the Federation, the aggregate sum of 2,176,791,286.003 only is for the statutory transfer. 18 billion naira is for is 18 billion.
Distinguished colleagues, a bill for an act to authorize the issue from the Consolidated Revenue Fund of the Naira is for recurrent non-debt expenditure, while the sum of 1,125,320,123 million
The House of Representatives has scrapped the budgetary allocation of the presidential yacht, moving the proposed sum to student loan. The student loan allocation, which was 5.5 billion naira, has been increased to 10 billion naira. Chairman House Committee on Appropriations, Abubakar Bichi, who disclosed this on Thursday while addressing newsmen after plenary, said the fund was moved to student loan due to low budgetary allocation for students. The budgetary allocation of Ministry of Defense was also increased from 4.476 billion naira to 546 billion naira by the committee. BG also disclosed that the minimum wage for workers was considered and approved for onward transmission to the executive, while promising proper legislative oversight to ensure 100% implementation. The committee retained the sum of 100 billion naira for Federal Capital Territory FCT as requested by the Minister Nyosom Wike. House of Representatives correspondent Linda Ike reports that the House thereby passed the sum of 2.177 trillion naira.
Access that facility in order for them to go to school and to be affordable for them. So we have approved 100 billion naira for Ministry of Housing, and that's what we actually did. Service whiteboard initially was 615 billion, but currently we reduced it from 615 to 515 billion naira as well. INEC, initially their request was 18 billion naira. Yesterday we had an engagement with the INEC chairman, as you're all aware, and he has convinced us about his submissions. We have maintained the 18 billion naira as well. So far, we have approved the sum of 2,176,791,286,033 naira only. So this is what we did today, and we'll continue to do as much as we can to support our Nigeria, to support the government, so that our people can see the importance for this democracy. As far as we
The Labour Writers Association of Nigeria, Lawan, has condemned in strongest terms the brutalization and attempt by alleged agents of the Imo State government to kill the president of the Nigerian Labour Congress, NLC, Comrade Joe Ajero, who was in Imo State for his Congress activities against the injustice meted on the Imo State workers by Senator Uzodinma's administration. In a statement signed by Lawan's chairman and secretary, Comrade Toba Agbola and Adenike Ajiboye, described this as a shameful act and barbarism that should not be accepted by the workers and Nigerians. Lawan worried that if a number one worker in the country can be treated in such a way, it's a big slap to all workers and it's a sign that nobody is safe in this country. The NLC president and other executives were in Owerri on Wednesday, November 1, to mobilize Imo workers for a protest rally in the state over an alleged violation and abuse of rights and privileges of workers by the state government. But the planned peaceful protest turned violent, with allegations that thugs emerged and descended on the protesters and labor leaders. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has commissioned the Yaba overpass at the junction of Murtala Mohammed Way and Ojuelegba Road, one of the components of the Lagos Red Line Rail project. The governor said all the other 4 bridges on the Red Line routes were nearing completion to avoid vehicular accidents, improve travel time, and increase transport choices along the rail. Commissioner for Transportation, Oluwaseun Oshiemi, said the project would provide public transport solution and change traffic management in the area. Managing Director of the Lagos Area Metropolitan Transport Authority, Lamata, Abimbola Akinjo, said the Red Line project, when completed, is expected to move 1 million passengers daily and that the Yaba overpass and other ones will drastically reduce traffic.
My honor and a very, very rare privilege that I hereby formally commission the Yaba Overpass Bridge for the use of our people and for the progress of our state. Indeed, a greater Lagos is rising. You cannot disbelieve what we have done. And we'll continue to raise the level of governance. We'll continue to live by our words. We'll continue to stand by our commitments.
It summarized the Teams Plus development agenda of this administration, led by our tireless leader and governor, Mr. Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu. Today's event is a prelude to the future role Yaba will play in our transport system. As you are aware, the Lagos Rail Mass Transit Red Line train station across the road will be connected to the Yaba bus terminal, thus making it possible for each mode to feed each other with passengers.
The bridges are an essential part of the Lagos Rail Mass Transit, the Red Line project.
Achieving clean water and proper sanitation has continued to face serious challenges in Lagos due to the challenges posed by pollution, migration into the megacity, rapid urbanization, and economic growth. Experts on water and sanitation gave these submissions in Lagos at the 2023 conference of the state chapter of the Nigerian Institution of Environmental Engineers with the theme, Lagos Wash Policy Implementation, Attaining the Mega City Status. The guest speaker, Engineer Muslimat Anibire, said Lagos faced a lot of environmental challenges affecting the growth of other sectors, as she called for legal framework to ensure the implementation of the water, sanitation, and hygiene program. The national chairman of the Environmental Engineers, Sesan Odukoya, and the state chapter of the institution, Yusuf Mojolagbe, were of the opinion that open defecation has continued to affect success recorded in the WASH program.
The main objective for water supply in the policy include provide guidance and decision and direction in institutional, economic, social and legal frameworks that will lead to improved water governance at all levels throughout the state. Improve access to safe water supply in an affordable and sustainable manner for all the people of the state. The objective of the sanitation aspect of the policy is to ensure that all residents of Lagos State have access to adequate, affordable and sustainable sanitation services through the active participation of government at all levels.
If we put sanitation in place, people don't now turn water. Those things they will take care of. Open defecation, take care of public toilets, takes about school toilet in schools. People can, everybody now turn their water outside. So it's way. So they're trying, but I know. But if they put that policy, pass that policy, there will be more activities that will quickly combat those things.
The waste will get properly treated, the contaminants are removed, and possibly we're talking about circular economy. That waste, the sludge is being used back by the fertilizer. So nothing goes to waste. So it's highly connected. Once we have the WASH policy, the S there is for sanitation, and the clean water and sanitation, is actually intertwined.
A legal practitioner, Blessing Ahmed, has called on the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, to dig deep into an alleged fraudulent case which involves Farm for Me and Viable X and her clients. Ahmed, while seeking for justice for her clients who were allegedly duped by Farm for Me and Viable X to the tune of over 800 million naira, highlighted others' alleged fraudulent activities of the companies and the impact it has had on her clients' lives. Ahmed, who narrated all steps taken so far, said the chamber had submitted a petition to the EFCC, the DSS and the Nigerian police, detailing the fraudulent activities and requesting its intervention. On their parts, the victims, Onyinye Ofong and Uzoma Ofong, maintain that EFCC can do a thorough investigation into the matter and bring those responsible to justice. The affected clients, who were shedding tears, are hopeful that their voices will be heard and that appropriate action will be taken against Farm for Me and Viable X.
We are just appealing. People shouldn't do things and feel they can get away with it. We know justice can be served. The only thing we should cultivate in our country is it shouldn't be too late before justice is served. We shouldn't be doing justice for this every time. That's all we are begging, that the FCC should do what they know how to do best in this matter. We trust them, we trust their capacity, and we're using this medium to appeal to them that they shouldn't wait till my clients die before they would do the needful in this matter.
Here today, and that we are alive. It is just by the grace of God and nothing else. We are shadows of ourselves, but we thank God and we trust that EFCC can make this work, that justice can be served, that whoever or whatever it is that is Adama's backbone can be dislodged so that he can face the long arm of the law. It should happen.
And we asked further questions, is it possible for us to also insure our investments? They said no, because they are insuring the farm. They can't insure our own investment, but rather they advised us that what we should do is to also get a firm commitment from him that there's what is called payee clause, that he will give us that payee clause, which means that if perchance anything happens to that particular investment, they will pay us directly. They don't need to pay him. Whatever is our own investment, they pay us directly. So having done this series of background check, we believe that he was doing the right thing, which made us, motivated us to go ahead and start doing that investment. So
the Nigerian Deposit Insurance Corporation, NDIC, has applauded the judiciary on its better understanding of the deposit insurance practice towards promoting stability of the nation's financial system. NDIC Managing Director Bello Hassan gave the commendation while speaking at the 2023 sensitization seminar organized by the corporation in partnership with the National Judicial Institute for Judges of the Federal High Courts with the theme Strengthening Depositors' Confidence in Banks and Other Financial Institutions Through Speedy Dispensation of Justice, held in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State. Hassan stated that the overarching objective of the deposit insurance scheme in Nigeria is to protect depositors in the event of failure of the insured institutions, thereby engendering confidence and curtailing the incidence of bank runs in the system. Director, Communication and Public Affairs, Bashir Nuhu, said the corporation noted that in carrying out its mandate efficiently, the corporation required an effective collaboration with the judiciary in view of its critical role in resolving disputes that often arise from revocation of banking licenses, liquidation of failed banks, and termination of activities, while stating that the corporation, since inception, has been confronted with many challenges, such as misconception of its mandate and basic principles of deposit insurance. The NDIC boss expressed gratitude that the seminar, organized in collaboration with the NJI, has resulted in a better understanding of the corporation's distinct roles by members of the bar and the bench, as well as speedy dispensation of cases involving banks in liquidation for the sake of financial system stability in Nigeria. A geriatric consultant, Dr. Oladaisi Oduniyi, has charged the government at all levels to give adequate care to the elderly as they face lots of medical conditions like dementia, glaucoma, diabetes, among others. Dr. Oduniyi, who is the head of Geriatric Clinic, Lagos State University Teaching Hospital, Lasut, made the call at a free medical outreach organized by the Ikeja Lasut Lions Club in collaboration with Value Jet Airline in Lagos. Dr. Oladaisi explained that the problems are usually hidden and become worse unless they are evaluated and managed by medical experts. The president of the club, Lion Afolabi Folashade Mutiat, who stated that the event was in commemoration of the Older Persons and Elderly Citizens Day, which was celebrated on the 5th of October, called for more attention to be given to the elderly as their health becomes frail with advancement of age. Other speakers at the event, including the Vice President of Lasut Lions Club, Dr. Maruf Abdul Salam, explained that humanitarian services are essential to help those in need, and recognizing the elderly as part of the society is necessary.
As the saying, that health is wealth. We are here today to celebrate our elders because of what they have done for us. They need to visit hospitals regularly to check their blood pressure, their blood sugar, their cholesterol, and if there's any ailment, so that they said prevention is better than cure. They should try and visit their doctors every month. But if they notice anything, they should come without waiting.
Unlike other people that focus on curative health care, what we do to elongate the life of our elderly is to focus on promotive, preventive, and rehabilitative health care. That they should not even wait until they are sick. They can actually register in our geriatric clinic. They will be coming, we'll be evaluating them. Because oftentimes, dementia will not just come suddenly. They will be forgetting things. But oftentimes, they come late to the clinic. So if they are having signs of forgetfulness and they come earlier, we can easily pick it and also and also reverse it than when they come at the terminal stage.
We should identify vulnerable groups within our society, one of which is the elderly. So in partnering with the family medicine clinic of the Lagos State University Hospitals, we identify the elderly so that we could do some blood checkup for them.
I will always be part of anything that involves extending a hand to people in need. That is why today We are here with Ikeja Lassus Lions Club for a free medical outreach for the elderly. We are excited for this opportunity and we look forward to more exciting opportunities like this in the future.
National Council of Muslim Youth Organizations, NACOMYO, have strongly advocated the intervention of government in providing strong education for the youth and equip them with necessary skills in order to help them contribute to the nation building and sustainable future. While speaking at the NACOMYO Lagos State Body Press Conference themed Green Skills for Youth Towards a Sustainable World on Wednesday in Lagos, the Lagos State Coordinator Isiaka Salami said the organization is partnering with the government, especially at the local level, in order to empower and teach the youth on how to be self-reliant. He implored the Lagos State government to reduce the tuition fees paid by students in all the state schools so as to mitigate the effects of subsidy removal on parents who are ultimately responsible for the payment of fees.
Federal government is ready to commit 25% of the 2024 federal budget to education. That all the president needs are policies that will justify that budget, and that is what the ministry is working on. See the attached link. This cheering and heartwarming news, if eventually implemented, will signal a turnaround in the bid to address the problem of education in Nigeria. We use this occasion to call on the Lagos State government to also increase the budgetary allocation to education in its 2024 budget to the UN recommended 25%. The council believes that this will go a long way in the proper education of the youth in order to acquire the green skills needed for sustainable future.
The leadership of Social Democratic Party, SDP, has called on President Bola Tinubu to ensure that the November 11 governorship elections in Bayelsa, Imo, and Kogi states are without any level of insecurity and violence. The national chairman of SDP, Shehu Gabam, made the call while addressing a media conference at the party secretariat in Abuja. He noted that the outcome of the forthcoming off-cycle elections will prove President Tinubu's self-acclaimed democratic credentials by deploying ample security cover to safeguard lives and property during the electioneering process, devoid of manipulation and violence. He therefore stressed the need for the president to deploy sufficient and capable security personnel for the election to demonstrate his commitment to a free, fair, and credible election. The national chairman also called on the relevant security agencies to avoid being used by politicians during and after the conduct of the election.
The three states have their own pocket of insecurity, but the height it is Kogi State that worries everybody. In the past election, it is the same Kogi that have created this panic in the land. If you could remember, we as a party, we suffered tremendously in Kogi State. Our offices were burnt down, people were killed and maimed. All parties became victims. A PDP woman was burned to ashes in her own house. That is how
An anti-corruption group on the aegis of Advocate for Social Justice has challenged the Zamfara State Governor Dauda Lawal to avail the people of Zamfara and Nigeria with facts and figures behind his financial deposit declarations with the Code of Conduct Bureau, CCB. The executive director of the group, Gamji Joseph, noted that documents in possession of the organization revealed that the incumbent governor of Zamfara State should be listed on Forbes as one of the richest men in Africa. The group lamented that Zamfara State is one of the most affected states on issues of insecurity, terrorism, and syndicated illegal mining, adding that the state is among the most disadvantaged states in northern Nigeria. The group asked the Code of Conduct Bureau to explain to Nigerians how it verified the submissions by the governor, including his sources of income, were applicable.
is not a fraudster or sponsor of terrorism. It is also important to note that this plea is not open-ended, and if the sources of these figures declared are not made public within 1 week, it is our intent to mobilize Nigerians and people of Zamfara State to march to the National Assembly and ensure a state of emergency is declared in the state by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Welcome back. Saudi Arabia is making another $13 million available to aid civilians in Gaza, according to a statement made by King Salman Humanitarian Aid and Relief Center on Thursday. Saudi King Salman and Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman are donating the money themselves on behalf of Saudi Arabia. KS Relief, founded in 2015, works with UN organizations and says it has recipients in almost 100 countries. Since the war broke out between Israel and Hamas, the UN Emergency Relief Office has appealed for urgent financial aid amounting to $300 million. We'll take a break to bring you sport news. Welcome back. Former FC Dallas keeper Shaka Hislop is doubtful that Lionel Messi's arrival will have a lasting impact on Major League Soccer. Hislop stated that Messi's arrival could have given MSL a shot in the arm, but ultimately his performances does not make or break MLS. Reports in Spain indicate the former Barcelona star will fly out to the United States next month to complete a move to the Major League Soccer outfit. Reports from Gremio also indicated that Suarez will play alongside Messi, Jordi Alba and Sergio Busquets under Gerardo Martino for the 2024 season. And that's it on the Primetime News. But before we leave, we'll take a recap of the top stories. We told you that the Senate has approved President Tinubu's 2.18 trillion naira supplementary budget. We also said that the Reps has scrapped budget for presidential yacht, and Lawan has condemned brutalization of NLC president. And on the foreign scene, we said that Saudi Arabia has announced a $13 million aid for Gaza. And in sports, that Lionel Messi's move to Inter Miami has given the Major League Soccer a huge boost. Thanks for watching. I am Jumoke Michaels. Good night.